Yo, what up killers? It's your boy Brix. Today's video is going to be the settings video. Now I need to make a quick disclaimer. Copying my settings isn't going to make you any better at the game. Copying anybody's settings isn't going to change the way you play. I'm just trying to give you an insight on what I use and, maybe you want to change some things. With all that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're new, make sure to smash that like button and welcome to the Brix Squad.
Alright boys, let's get right into it. So we're going to start off on the gameplay tab. Not a whole lot on this tab. Big things that we're going to go over are auto sprint and taking damage closes your death box menu. And of course the colorblind mode. Alright, first things first. Auto sprint. I got it on. This is honestly not that big, but potentially it could make your game a lot better. So with auto sprint, I'm not having to push in my L3. I'm literally just having to move it and I'm sprinting. So cut it on, test with it, see what works for you. I personally like it a little better because it's just quick movement, I can get a shot in and I'm moving. Alright, the next one we're going to do is taking damage, close the death box menu. I have this on because it's always been like that. I'm used to classic Apex where if I took damage, it was going to close the death box. Honestly, I would cut it off and see how it feels for y'all because it can be pretty crucial in a situation where you need an armor swap or something. And literally, as soon as you take a bullet, it's going to close the menu. So, definitely cut it off and try it out. I just keep it on because, like I said, I like the classic Apex feel. Alright, the biggest one on this tab would be colorblind mode. So, as regular, you got your good old red dot. I don't prefer that. I prefer the yellow dot. So, I cut it on Pro. And as you can tell, it gives me a yellow dot. Now, this dot, to me, is just a lot more brighter and clear. I can see better. So, this one, honestly, is just personal preference. Try it out. See what works for y'all. Okay, now we're going to go over to the controller tab. And we're just going to scroll through here. You see my ADS is the same. My look sensitivity is the high. The biggest thing here is the response curve. I have classic response curve. Now I'm going to show you a difference between classic and linear. Because honestly, if you're better at the game, linear would be a little better for you because, that's a lot more fine tuning. So, here's your example of the response curve. Okay. So, as you can see on classic, I have very strong aim assist. When I move left to right, you can see it's kind of keeping me on the enemy without me having to fine adjust it all that much. But when you cut it on linear is when it gets a lot more fine tuned. As you can see, I can't. It's a lot harder for me to keep it in the middle of the crosshair just because I'm not used to it, one. And like I said, linear is a lot more fine tuned than classic. So if you're a new player, I would suggest classic. But if you're a little more advanced and you're looking to up your game, maybe try out linear. The biggest thing that linear offers is you can crouch when you're in loot boxes. You can move around, you can do all that. But I play claw. So personally, I don't have to worry about linear, and I prefer classic anyways. It's just the feel of the game that I am used to. Now, obviously, I don't have no inverted in look. I have a small movement dead zone, small look dead zone. You could put it on none, but I have it on small just because I have a little drift in my controller. So, the very last one we're going to go over is obviously 110 field view. If you're on anything below 110, you're giving yourself a huge disadvantage because look how zoomed in you are on the screen. Right here to my left. I wouldn't even know he was there if I had this zoomed in field of view. But if you bump it back out to the max, he's in my line of sight. I can actually see him over there in the corner of my screen. So yeah, if you're playing on anything less than a 110 FOV, definitely turn it up. I'll save this advanced look controls for another video because honestly, I've just never really messed with it. I will eventually mess with it, and try and fine-tune exactly how I want it, but that's going to be another video. So yeah, guys, we're going to go over it one more time. Auto sprint on is my big one. Taking damage closes death box, I have it on because, like I said, it's just what I'm used to. Colorblind mode, I have Pro on so I can have a yellow dot. Controller, I have a decent a decent sense. You know, this is what I'm used to. You know, if you can snap on targets faster and you have a pretty good aim, maybe crank this up a little bit more, but you're gonna have to find what's comfortable for you. That's the key here. I'm just showing y'all pretty much what's comfortable for me. Obviously, classic response curve. Like I said, I have my look dead zone on small because I have just a little drift in my controller. And of course the 110 field of view.